Is Aidan Hutchinson the right move at number 2 for Detroit? Let's Talk Lions. Welcome back to an all-new episode here at Let's Talk Lions. I believe it is time for us to start diving into the draft and kind of looking at some of our options and what opportunities Detroit will have. With that being said, today I wanted to dive right in with Aidan Hutchinson. First and foremost, thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. A little information regarding that. I'm going to be starting my own private Discord with all Patreon subscribers, so thank you to you guys. That's where I'm going to take a lot of my interaction will be over there when it comes to the comment section. That's where I'll kind of start engaging even more and being able to have our own private Discord so that we can talk about all things Lions. Now, with that being said, let's dive in to today's video. Is it the right move for Detroit to snag Aidan Hutchinson at number 2? First and foremost, we all must understand that Hutchinson very well could go at number 1 to the Jags. It is possible. When I look at Jacksonville, what are they in need of? What could really help them out? Yes, an edge rusher, a defensive end could be huge for Jacksonville, but I personally believe that Jacksonville would benefit more from an O-lineman, really somebody to help protect Trevor Lawrence. I think that's where their biggest issue is, and with that number 1 overall pick, they could grab an O-lineman, somebody like Neal. There's a couple different options there. However, we have to understand they very well could look at Aidan Hutchinson and say, this guy's a freak athlete, let's snag him. Really, at that point, what does that do to Detroit? Should we trade back? This is what's fun about the draft is anything can happen. It's almost like a game of settlers, and everybody's looking at the board saying, what do we do here? And it all depends on where that first person goes. Hypothetically speaking, the Jags pass over on Hutchinson. We're at number 2. We don't trade back. Is Hutchinson the right move for Detroit? The simple answer is absolutely. Aidan Hutchinson, for those of you who don't know, is the defensive end out of Michigan. He's 6'6", he's 265 pounds. When you look at him, he's very comparable to Nick or Joey Bosa in size. Last year, Hutchinson put up 62 total tackles and a record high for Michigan of 14 total sacks, and he forced 2 fumbles, recovering 1 of them. Hutchinson offers a ton to the Lions. Quite frankly, I mean, he offers a ton to any team when you look at what he's able to do. But it is my opinion that Hutchinson is exactly what Detroit needs. Something that we have constantly seen a struggle in Detroit is simply getting that pressure put on the QB. When you look at Hutchinson, when you look at what he offers, I think he brings that immediately to the table for us. Last year, I was excited for our D-line. I really thought that we had something together that was going to work. However, Romeo Okwara goes down 3 games in. Trey Flowers ends up getting hurt somewhere in the middle of the season, actually early middle. So we started watching us dwindle. And really with that, we got to see some of our young guys step up. The Aleem McNeils, the Onwuzurikes get to start putting their name on the map. Well, with the addition of Hutchinson immediately, you're looking at the possibility of this D-line making some noise. Hutchinson's football IQ is really through the roof when you look at it. He's able to immediately assess the situation, see, all right, is it passing play, is it rushing play, and then move accordingly. His strength up against offensive linemen is really something not to be trifled with, and he has an arsenal of moves and techniques allowing him to get pressure on that QB. To me, it is that arsenal of techniques that is quite alluring. And this is really where I do fear that Jacksonville just says, F it, this guy's a freak athlete, let's grab him. And truthfully, coming out of this season, I was sort of teetering over on the edge because it was, is it going to be KT out of Oregon or Aidan Hutchinson? You know, which one? And I was truly leaning towards KT, but the more film that I've watched, the more I've watched Aidan Hutchinson and what he's able to do when coming up against these O-linemen, I have officially switched over and said, that's the guy that I want at number 2. What he is able to do between his strength, his hand movement, and really being able to move left to right, vice versa, covering the open space. Aidan Hutchinson is, to me, at this point, a no-brainer at number 2 for what he would do here in Detroit. And that's all just gameplay. When you look at Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, they've made it clear we want guys that are a cultural fit. You've heard that 100 times. I've heard that 100 times. It's, are they a cultural fit here in Detroit? And Aidan Hutchinson is that. The way the guy plays is, it's all or nothing. He's aggressive, he's all in, and all he wants to do is win. And that's what we want here. There is a character that you can see the integrity behind him that is going to give the Detroit Lions, that's going to give any team that he goes to, all he has. And why not have that here in Detroit? Especially you look at Brad Holmes, you look at the way we drafted last year, it feels like we are really building out our defense in a way that is going to allow us to shut opponents down. And I think Aidan Hutchinson, coming off the side, coming off the end, is exactly what we need. We got to put pressure on the opposing QB. Aidan Hutchinson's got this arsenal of tools, arsenal of technique, and that's what I want. His strength, his size. I mean, you watch Nick or Joey Bosa play, and it's just downright scary. And if we had something like that in Detroit, I couldn't be happier. Similar to the instant role that Sewell played on our offensive line, I really think that Hutchinson would offer that on the D-line. That is why I proposed to you at number 2 that the Detroit Lions select Aidan Hutchinson. I think he's a cultural fit, and I think he's exactly what we need as a player going into the future. How do you guys feel about Aidan Hutchinson? Are you kind of teetering between him and KT? Drop it in the comments. Or are you looking to trade back? We're going to get into mock drafts as we go along. But for now, that is it. And as always, I'll catch you next time on Let's Talk Lions.